Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh, boy.
Seahorses forever.
So, there's a guy standing on the corner, and he's got a giant peach for a head. This guy walks up to him, and he says, "Hey, I couldn't help but notice you have a giant peach for a head. What's up with that?" He's like, "Oh, funny story. So I found a genie, and he gave me 3 wishes. My first wish was I wanted to be a millionaire, and I turn around, this guy with a briefcase full of money comes up to me and gives it to me. It's $1 million. I'm a millionaire. My second wish was to have the most beautiful girl in the world fall in love with me and live happily ever after. And I turn around and for the sake of argument, let's say Mila Kunis is the most beautiful woman in the world. She's like, I love you. We're getting married in a month. Third wish, I wish to have a giant peach for a head. The weekly ag starts now. It is the Weekly Act for Thursday, February 8th, 2018. I'm Mac, and along with Norm. Yeah. See, did you get it? Like, you thought he was going to screw it up. Why did he have a peach for a head? Oh, he must have messed up his wishes.
Yeah.
No, that's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted, yeah. I didn't.
You said you were going dirty.
I was going dirty. You said peach head, and I was like,
there's
a beach. Maybe peach rhymes with a beach. I don't know.
And he meant to have live on a beach or something? I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. No, it
like
was good.
A joke where you didn't see, you're like...
You didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, we're back. We didn't do we're doing this show on Thursdays, like we said. We didn't do it last week because you had something you're probably lying about. But we're doing it. We're going to keep doing it, I think. I'm pretty confident about it. Until, one of us, either I just go crazy and die from teaching... man, these fucking kids. I need it. It felt like, and I don't want to take credit for somebody else's meme, but I saw this. But somebody said it literally feels like January 74th. Like January felt so long. And you work in like finance, and there's like you have to deal with taxes and stuff, and that's coming around. So, I mean, I don't know. Did January not feel long, or is it?
I think it felt long because for me there was one long week, and I think it was for you too. But
we had a weather day, a
you
snow
had the weather
day.
Where
we had air quotes snow day
where we didn't get any snow, but they just canceled it beforehand.
Yeah, everybody was the weathermen were having a hard on for this thing. They're like, "Here it comes! Yeah. Here it fucking comes! Get ready!"
Well, I think there was like a winter storm warning for us.
Well, yeah, but it split. Like north of us and south of us got snow, ice.
Right, A&M got stuff. Austin got stuff.
Dallas
even Houston got.
I think Laredo
ice.
got. I think Mexico City got snow.
Yeah.
But so they canceled it because they were in preparation for it because.
That's the first time I've ever seen that happen.
It's never a preemptive strike with Waco. We live in Waco ISD. They're always the last one to cancel anything. And you never went to like school here, like
no, but I mean,
high
the schools that I went to, they didn't. They would always wait, even if there was snow on the ground and they were like, "Hey, we're expecting 6 to 10 inches." They wouldn't say, "Well, let's just cancel school." Like they'd wait until the morning.
6 to 10 inches, I fall right in the middle
there you
of that.
go. Yeah,
closer to the 6 inches. They would. Well, I don't. Then you understand the frustration. Right. So it's the same way here. And the one time they say, okay, it was 8 o'clock the night before. Okay, it's canceled. No,
nothing.
There's no moisture.
Yeah,
there wasn't even slick. It wasn't like nothing.
Right. Well, there wasn't even like frost on the the ground. Like
we had more frost this morning than during this. But I mean, it was the day after Martin Luther King Day, so we ended up having a 4-day weekend. Which
is awesome.
Yeah, but now this month we're gonna have President's Day off. No, that's a bad weather makeup day, and but it's
a short month.
I wanted to like do what?
It's a short month.
It's a short month, I guess, and then after that we have spring break, and I shouldn't complain because I get more breaks than you do, but you don't have to deal with fucking kids all day. But you have to deal with adults that are basically like children, I guess. You're having to.
When it comes to technology, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they just regress back to a kid. I didn't have anything funny for the end of that, but so I don't know where. But yeah, it felt like a long month for whatever reason. And I don't know if that was it or.
I just think it was back to back. You guys got those sweet 4-day weekends, and then I think you had another 3-day weekend for Martin Luther King Day or something.
Well, that was the 4-day weekend.
Oh, well, then
it was the day after Martin Luther King Day that they camped that Tuesday. I mean, we just come back from winter break.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that's
part of it. I mean, if there was one week when we got back to work, and I don't know if I forget if I asked for days off. I don't know. I just remember saying, man, I have to work the whole week now. It's just one of those things where you just get kind of depressed because you're there on Monday.
But I mean, the kids are bad a lot, but I'm used to it. So it's not, it's just how the school is. But today, good Lord, there's this kid, and it's like he's never there, but when he comes to school, it's like he's been there forever. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like one day with him feels like weeks with him, even though he's not. He's never there, but he's just like a dick, and he's just annoying. But he doesn't do anything outright referable, like outright.
He knows how to tiptoe that line.
Yeah. And today, man, he was just being like just disgusting. And it's 8th period, the last period of the day.
So you're already like if you had a bad day. I
have no. Yeah. Maybe if he came in first period and was doing this, I'd be able to deal with it. Today, I basically said, "Look, you don't want to be here, then I don't want you here." I mean, honestly, like, what are you doing here?
Right.
And he's like, "I need all my work." I'm like, "Well, you haven't been here for like 2 weeks. I don't have every copy of everything we've done for 2 weeks."
Right. That's on you.
Right. You should have been here.
Yeah.
I can give you some stuff from the past couple of days to work on, and he still didn't do it. And then so he sucks everyone in. He gets everyone off task. He bothers everybody. He makes fun of everybody. And he's like, I don't know. I guess he's popular, so the kids like almost like it when they get made fun of because he's talking to them or some weird thing.
Right.
But today, and I know, well, I hope you know what I'm talking. You know what I'm. You're a guy.
Yeah.
There's he kept talking about like pornography, but not pornography straight out. He was talking about, do you know that company Bang Bros? You do. You do. It's okay.
I feel like I've heard of them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. But I can't say anything like stop talking about that because then I admit that I know what that is. Do you know what I'm saying?
So he's doing it indirectly?
He's talking out there. He's like, oh, this is Bang Bros on the phone for me.
I mean, that sounds weird. I feel like you could be like, hey, don't be talking about banging your bros. That's weird.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't be gay.
But I feel like if I said anything, then, why am I getting in trouble for this?
Right.
Like he's just saying they're on the phone. Why am I like if I say, oh, and he's like, well, how do you know that it's, it's admitting that I know that's a porn site.
So you're having this whole like.
I want to say something, so I'm just telling him just to shut up. Like stop talking.
Well, I mean, you said he's showing it on his phone. Is he showing?
No,
it to
he's
people?
saying they're calling him like he's going to be in a scene or something.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's what he didn't say. I'm going to be in a scene, but he's like, oh, it's Bang Bros on the phone for me.
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, and so, but you know what I mean? Like I can't. Yeah. Like one time, I got caught. My first year, a kid said the name of a, and it's sad that I know porn star names. That's bad enough.
For sure.
It kind of goes along with the whole social media thing we talked about before. I got to get rid of it. And he said the name of the porn star, and she doesn't have a necessarily porny name, porn-sounding name.
It's like Candy or
porny,
whatever.
Candy porn.
I'm thinking more porny. Like strippers, I guess.
Well, no, what?
Like stripper names, like
no. I just thought porn. I thought you said porny sounds like candy or something, like a type of
like
candy.
Candy sounds like if your girl's name is Candy, coming to the stage, it's
right?
Candy.
Well, yeah. But she had I can't remember the name, but I remember it was like a regular sounding name. It doesn't sound, it's not like
Judith.
Fuck me sideways or whatever. And I was like, hey, you need to stop talking about that. And he's like, how do you know who that is? I'm like, fuck.
Got him.
Got it. Got him. No, but they got me good that year because I had this, I was new, it was like a hazing, it was like an initiation. Is that
the same class that did that thing about
I was about to say that, yeah. Like, they're like, hey, how do you brush your teeth? And I show them like how you brush the fronts, up and down.
It's a weird question. You're just trying to.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I can show. And then they're like, no, the back. So if you're listening to this, mime
how you
brushing your back teeth with no, what does it look like you're doing? And I was like, oh, you guys. But it was a girl that said it too, so it was even. It made me laugh because a girl did a crude prank on me and stuff. Yeah. I was like, all right, you got me. I mean, if they get me, the kids get me every year with stuff that I've never heard. I'm like, okay, I give them.
Right.
You got me good.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Get out.
You sent him to the office for making you look like a fool.
Right. Yeah.
He's a fool.
He's a fool. He's as mortal as we. If Nuke was here, he'd be on the floor right now laughing. Nobody knows what the fuck that is, but he would love that. So what's going on with you? Nothing as usual?
Yeah, pretty much.
As usual.
Just like, with you just kind of hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of just patience required right now, trying to talk a certain age group through online interactions is just really tough sometimes. So so
everyone's frustrated with the people they cater to.
They cater to, yeah. It's tough, especially. Well, I think that your position is even harder to deal with because
I can't put them on hold.
Well, not only that, but you can't. They tie your hands when it comes to discipline. Like it's not like you can hold these kids to a certain, and then they there's certain numbers you have to hit as a teacher. You can't fail everyone, or else I'm sure you'd fail way more kids.
The magic number is 10%.
Yeah,
more than 10%, they want to talk to you.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like they
but they're not here. Most of the kids that fail are because they don't come to school.
Right,
I'm not going to just give them grades.
Right, yeah.
And sometimes in a bad year, I'll have more than 10% just not come all the time, and they're failing.
Right.
So how bad does it look, though? It would look like you said, my hands are tied because with the principal at the school. But then say they go to a truancy hearing and they look at the grades and they're like, well, wait, he's passing your class, but he's never there.
Right.
What's that about?
Right.
Or he's got a 50 because they want you to give a 50.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like the judge would be like, well, wait, he's never there. How does he have a 50?
Right, yeah.
Because that still shows that you did something. And that's not fair to kids that actually get a 50. And I know a 50 is failing, but the kids actually put in the work to get the 50.
Right, yeah.
So I'm just going to give this guy a 50. It sucks when I put in a 50 and a kid that was there and just had a bad day makes like a 45. Mm-hmm. And this kid who didn't come gets a better grade.
An automatic, yeah.
And I was like, I just can't do it.
Right.
So I don't. They recommend it. It's like, when something's frowned upon, they don't tell you not to do it. But I do it. I just can't. It's my integrity, I feel.
Right, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Well,
what's the point?
Well, that sucks because then they try and like tie that to.
I'm just making it rain 50s or whatever, They
make it, and I'm sure they tie it to, job performance review, all this other bullshit. That's like, well, you can't account for kids that don't give a shit. Like,
right. Yeah. That's basically the failures I have. The kids that are never there are the ones that come and do nothing. And by now in February, it's it.
There's nothing
they're not gonna work if they haven't started yet. And I'm not gonna keep calling home because that doesn't help. Or they get annoyed, or they don't answer, or the phone is disconnected. Right. And so I'm like and we have this new superintendent who like wants he's gonna make everyone pass or something because he's been superintendent. I mean, he's like a superstar or whatever. But I'm like, you can't. You got to be realistic. You can't want it for them. You can't just give your part of it as a teacher and then give the wanting and the effort. You can't do both.
Right.
So now if the kid is quiet and not bothering anybody, whatever.
That's good.
That's
a passing grade.
Well, no, not passing. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to like try to make them do anything,
Right.
But sometimes kids try, like in April, they're like, oh, man, I got to pass for the whole year. I'm like, it's too late now, man. And then I've had parents that have gotten mad at me that say, not a lot, but like a couple, like 2 or 3, maybe not even that many, but it seems sometimes the bad ones seem like it make you feel like you talk to more of them.
Yeah.
That the kids want to come at the last minute and do a bunch of work and the grades to do the next day. I don't have time to find all the assignments, make copies, and then grade all that stuff and turn in grades the next day. And I remember one guy in particular, his kid was just like fucking around. He was just screwing. He was just being lazy.
Right.
And he's like, "You're going to tell me that you're not going to give assignments to a willing kid?" I'm like, "Well,
wow.
If he wanted what he wanted. The thing that annoyed me the most is what he wanted me to do was make one assignment that would just
Cover everything.
fill in all those ones he didn't do. I'm not doing that.
What a shitty parent that's just coming up there.
It's I wish we lived in older times, not for like all the sexual harassment.
Right, yeah.
Although we would have cleaned up. No.
50s were golden.
Right. But when we were kids, if the parent called, if the teacher called home, you believe the teacher.
Right, yeah.
I mean, unless they, some of them were jerks, and
right.
But most of the time, most teachers were pretty up and up.
Right.
And I didn't want my mom to answer the phone if the teacher called, because she was going to believe the teacher.
Right.
If they said I did something, the teacher just said you did. Now it's like, why did you get my kid in trouble? Why did you fail my kid?
Right, yeah.
You think I fail kids on purpose? Sometimes, but for the most part, do you think
I get bonuses for this? Like,
right, I get in trouble if the kid fails. You earn it. I know that's like a cliche, but I'm like, I don't give you any grades. You earn that. You failed. You earned it. You didn't do anything.
And it's weird, I can't imagine the balls on a parent to come in and like sit across from a table and say, yeah, just give them one assignment that's going to cover all these grades.
So why do you think
failing my kid? It's like, what?
And that's just so the kid's going to think that.
No wonder your kid's a fucking failure because of you.
Yeah, the kid's going to think that's the way you get through life.
Yeah,
that's why they think it now.
Yeah,
because a lot of times the kid will say, Can you just give me these points? Can you just give me an assignment for everything?"
And there's no
and then the parent comes and validates why it's that way.
Right, they're just like, you have no accountability. You're not responsible for anything bad that happens to you.
And then they get into
nuts.
And then in the working world, then they're going to go from job to job. They're going to just
and think that it's everyone else's fault.
Right. Oh, this is just unfair.
This guy's mean. It's like, what? He just told you to get to work. Yeah, that's mean, man. Right.
That's rude. That's disrespect. You're being a dick.
Right.
What are you talking about?
That's not me. That's you.
That's Anyway.
Freaking kids.
These kids today. These kids over there. Over there. Utes. I've been listening to Bill Burr a lot, his podcast, and he does that. He'll anything with an R, he likes to say like Archie Bunker would say.
Yeah.
Like Dollar Shave Club over there. I don't know. It's so funny. I do it all the time. Nobody knows what I'm doing. I'm just stealing from him. What else? What else is going on?
What else we got?
Enough teacher talk. I don't want to, that's going to
monopolize the teaching.
Well, no. What? No, I don't think if people don't give a shit, they're not going to care about what I just talked about. Trying to appeal to the broad audience here, Norman. Well, still, all 10 of them.
This is true.
Umpiring's getting back into. So let's go to some other very specific part of the nation.
Niche.
But it's umpiring starting. But I mean, I think anybody can relate to if you're in some kind of an organization that governs itself, like as a hobby, or like if you're in a, what do the old guys go to the lodge? What the fuck is that?
Elk Lodge.
Where it's something. Yeah. You're just any kind of organization that you join outside of just your regular job. Yeah. But even your regular job could have these same kind of people. But it's just we had our training clinic last week. Scrimmages have started. High school baseball scrimmages have started this week. And we had like a clinic, like an on-field, there's stations, and you go through all this shit.
Right.
And for people
just a tune-up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's mainly for guys that are brand new. They're like, because they don't know anything, and they're like, you want to position yourself this way, you want to do, whatever. But so like for guys that have done it, it's a refresher, but sometimes I don't even pay attention. Because they don't offer anything new. I mean, it's really. Right. I wish they would do one for beginners and one for others,
advanced, yeah.
And so I could like talk about some advanced situations that screw me up.
Right. Yeah.
So whatever, I go because it's mandatory, and I just But what's funny is what annoys me, and and it's going to seem like I'm the kind of person that I hate. It's fine. I'm a hypocrite, whatever. I admit it. I never get asked to lead any of these groups because I'm fairly new. This is only my 8th season. I mean, so there's guys who've been doing it 20, 30, 40 years, you know. So I get it. But then there's this other douche who somehow is like sucked dick all the way up. I don't know. He started when I did, but he's older than me. So, you know, sometimes just if you see somebody who's older, you assume that they're better or they know more or whatever. He started the same time I did. And now he's out there leading stuff and telling me what to do and everything. And it's really annoying. And it's not that, it's the way he does it. It's the way he kind of, what's it called? Lords it over.
Yeah,
like he almost, it feels like he's like, look at me.
Look what I did. Know? Start at the same time.
And he's just like critiquing everything, and he wants to like he's told me and other guys that have been doing a while, he'll ask, like, if this doesn't just push you away and annoy you right away, do you mind if I critique you? Like, he says that exactly. I'm like, no. I mean, yes, fuck off. So fine. But what's also funny, what I enjoy, is some guys that have been doing it a really long time and who don't get asked to lead one of these because they actually suck. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I'm pretty good, but I'm newer, and I'm not. I know I'm not the best. But guys that have been doing it like 30 years who just refuse to try to get better or go to any training, but they want to spew out. Like, it sucks. I get with the same fat fuck every year. He's so fat. I don't know how he won't do games behind the. He only do games behind the plate because he can't run.
Jeez.
So. Which is fine because that's, I mean, you got to squat for 4 hours,
right.
But he doesn't want to have to run because he can't. And he's a nice guy. I mean, yeah, but still, like, he's a loudmouth know-it-all. But he's still a nice guy. I don't know how. I know that sounds like it can't be, but he is somehow. Somehow he's both. And he's in my group. You know, you number off and you rotate in stations. And he's in my group every year. And every year, since I've been there, he's never been asked to lead a training session, but he will talk. Hey, can I just say something? Can I say something? That's how, I mean, exactly how, just like the fat is just in his voice. I don't know. And and it's funny because he never gets deterred either. Like, you know, have you ever been in a class or whatever, and somebody always says, oh, this, and it's wrong every time? Right, but somehow they don't have any shame, and they'll just keep saying being wrong, right? Like, sometimes in like college, especially like a community college, there'll be old people, and they think they're friends with the professor, and they'll say stuff, and the professor's like, no, that's not right, and they're just wasting your time, you know? Yeah. And you're kind of like, shut up. Like, we want to go. It's, you know, it's like a 6 o'clock class. You want to go.
Yeah,
it's 9:30.
Yeah. Save your questions for after.
Right. For never. Save your questions for never. So he does that, and like they're like, nah, I wouldn't do it that way. Nah. Every time he says something, they're like, nah, I wouldn't suggest doing it that way. But he never gets. He doesn't
get the hint.
If I say one thing and I'm wrong, I'm like, oh fuck.
You're not talking for another 8 years.
Yeah, I'm never going to say another word because I'm like, man, I don't know shit. But he just like, it's nothing like. After a while, you're like, man, maybe I don't know anything.
Yeah. He doesn't have that thing. He just inane confidence. Like, right. I'm going to say something. And who cares if it's right?
And I think I think people can relate to that kind of person. I think it's in a lot of different situations, not just this umpiring deal, but because I'm sure you've had somebody like that in a class, right?
Yeah,
where
they
just
keep talking.
They think they're an
stuff.
expert on the thing, or and they're just not. And it's there's actually this year. I had for a second when I was going to be a business major, for a second, and I took. What are the 2 accounting classes you can take?
Business? No.
There's 2 different kinds. It's kind of like macro and microeconomics. Yeah. There's 2 different kind of accounting, and I took whatever the first one is, and he was my teacher, because he worked at like a credit union around here in the daytime. Right. He's in there. He wouldn't remember me because it was one class in 2006 or whatever. Right. But I was like, holy crap, because he has like his face is, he had a face. He has a memorable face or whatever. And I was like, oh, man, it's that guy. And he is like, I don't know if it's because he's in like an accountant or I don't know what he does at the credit union, but he is like so meticulous. And our chapter of officials is so fucking disorganized. And he just is losing his mind. like he's new anyway, which is stressful. But nothing runs right. Nobody, the communication and emails about when things are is just, and he is just, he may be the first one to quit for reasons off the field. Because like normally guys get yelled at and they're like, screw this, I don't need this drama in my life.
Yeah. It's not worth this money.
And they leave. But this guy may leave because of the bureaucracy part of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, going back to your point, like there are certain phrases that just get on my nerves. Like, there's one specific one. This particular person I know will say sometimes, and it's does that make sense? Like after they say something that is completely
elementary, like
yes. It's
so
like,
you put the key in the door and turn it. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense?
Are you following me?
I just took a shit. Does that make sense? What?
Yeah. Wait, what did you do?
Yeah, it's a weird, and they'll pepper it in on different things, and it's usually
is it
like
just something they
stuff.
say? But I mean, do you think it's sometimes people just say things like they'll say blah blah blah, okay, blah blah blah, okay, they'll just say it and not realize
maybe
it
as a tick, or they
something.
just got used
but
to
are they really asking? Does this make sense? Are they explaining something? Or
well, you have that like you can say that and then just keep going, assuming that it makes sense.
Right.
So you could say, "Does that make sense?" Anyway, let's go. Like there's a small pause, but there's a long pause after every one of these.
They wait.
Yeah.
Does he want you to?
He wants me to say yes. That makes sense. That fucking I get it. Yes.
I always do it if I say, "Does that make sense?" when I know that I've done a poor job of explaining something. Like it's really to tell you that I know what I said just is stupid.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But I guess some people, I don't know if you're saying this guy does that, but some almost like a condescending thing.
Yeah.
Like, do you get
right?
like,
yeah. It's just stuff that it's like, why do you? Yeah. Like you just want to be like, yeah. For me, I just want to be like,
is it a work thing?
Of course, I fucking get it. Yeah.
It's something at work.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things.
Do you already know the thing too?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. They'll explain to me like I'll go with a question to somebody, and their response is, "Hey, let's take it back to the." Like they won't answer the question; they'll just take it back to the core. So if it's like for a specific IRA, they're like, "Well, these IRAs are for this or this, and this is how this works." And I'm like, "I fucking get it. I know how that process works.
Right.
What do you?" I asked you a completely different question. What are you doing?
Yeah, I've like where you ask a question like on like at the tip of the iceberg of the concept, but they'll want to start all over and from the ground up and explain it. I'm like, no, I get all.
Do me a favor. It's like
I get all that.
Yeah,
this part,
this thing,
this is the very top. Yeah.
Why didn't you do your fucking job?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I know. I was like, no, I don't need a whole crash course in the thing.
Yeah.
Or I hate when some people don't. They think you're asking another question. And they go into this long spiel, and you have to like you can't get a word in edgewise, and they have to listen to the thing, them explain the wrong thing, and then say, "No, well, cool." But what I really needed was
you're like awesome that we
thanks for
just
that.
Covered that.
You're right. 10
minutes on nothing. Here's some things.
Yeah,
we need to fix.
All right, you want to talk about like stuff that's not us?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, something I just saw before I came in because we were talking about. I still haven't posted that episode though. I really need to like post episodes as soon as we're done and then leave. But I think I'm not gonna do that because we're gonna go eat after this. So I'll just come back this weekend and post the 2 weeks ago and this week. A little housekeeping for you. But because we were talking about the Me Too thing and how we can't, we don't understand. But did you? Well, I read that Rose McGowan, because she's.
Yeah,
did you see her on Colbert? She's like, I don't know if she's just
she's like shaved her head and
I don't know if she's just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. She's just going to be whatever. Or Harvey Weinstein really kind of destroyed her as a empathetic.
Oh, okay.
Like she really just doesn't give a shit. Like she's for her, which I mean I respect. Why not? Just, But her manager killed herself.
Holy
Rose McGowan,
cow.
she committed suicide because she's apparently had depression issues and she's bipolar for a long time, but she got mentioned in something about Harvey Weinstein that she was defending him. So she was getting attacked but it wasn't
a thing.
And they're like, well, and her family's like, why is she even mentioned? She's fragile enough. She can't. And she killed herself.
Wow.
Like earlier today or last night or something.
Jeez.
I'm like, golly. I mean, this is affecting people that are, I mean, I don't know if that lady was ever sexually harassed, but I mean, it's affecting her
manager.
Yeah.
That's
no.
nuts.
I mean, I don't know if the manager's ever been sexually harassed or anything, but if she hasn't, I mean, this is affecting people even without,
right? Because they're coming for her, and they don't necessarily know the full story, or they don't.
I think it was misquoted or something that she was an apologizer for him or something. I mean, no, I mean, nobody is apologizing for Harvey Weinstein. Even Trump. I don't know. Well, I feel like even Trump would not apologize for Harvey Weinstein. I mean, it's pretty one-sided here.
Well, I mean, I saw there was an interview with some lady that used to be a big name in fashion. I think it was like maybe Donna Karan or something. And she essentially used that whole thing about, what are these girls wearing when they go to see him at 2 a.m? It's like,
well, that's
what?
By then, that's really neither here nor there.
Right.
At that point, I mean.
But essentially just kind of victim blaming and kind of taking his side.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, you need to just, even if you think, you better just distance yourself from that mess, that hornet's nest.
Well,
just
yeah, because there's no apologist. There's no way to spin that to make it seem like he's a victim. He's not.
That guy today, and I love when I come on here and I don't know specifics or names or anything, but the guy in politics in Washington that punched his wife in the face, he resigned today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I remember that story. I'm like, man, he punched her in the face. That is the most hilarious. Not hilarious that she got punched in the face, but to punch your wife in the face, not slap her around or whatever. He punched her in the face.
Right.
That's just so degrading, somehow more than slapping her or just. I wish he would have punched her in the back of the head. That would have been funnier. Just the words punching her in the back of the head.
How long ago was it that it happened?
Well, no, I think it was like a few months ago. Oh. But I think something else happened. See, do you love my crack reporting?
Something else happened.
Something else happened today. The end. See, I don't even know his name. I don't know. I guess I could search for.
I think it was
politician that punched his wife in the face. You think there's more than one?
Not Patton.
General Patton.
General Patton. I'm sure he punched
a lot of women in the face. I'm Patton, bitch. You know who I am. Politician poisoned.
Jeez.
Punched wife. It was his wife, right? It wasn't like a mistress. Punched wife in face. Ted Cruz? No. Rob Porter. Yeah, he resigned.
Porter.
He resigned. Porter, get over here.
Top Trump aide.
Yep. But he didn't just punch her. It had been, oh, Lord, look at that shiner.
Woo. Chris Brown would be jealous.
All right. Hey-o. Yeah, it was last September, I guess, is when it came out. But I guess finally he finally, like, I guess, had enough urging him to resign or something.
From the sound of that heading right there, it looks like he did it more than once. More than one wife.
Physically abusing. Yeah, like ex-wives, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not reading for understanding here. Yeah, so I guess he's just punching everybody, all his wives in the face. That's
what's so funny about, like, just politics in general. Like, it didn't matter what the accusation is. If it's not going to be fiery enough to burn, like that politician in the next election, or burn the people that are surrounding him, they'll kind of just bring him into the fold either way.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it in Alabama, kind of with that senator that did all this stuff, and
he was just racist as can be.
He was the guy that's
not racist. He was like a pedophile.
Yeah. And it's just it's interesting just how much people will just kind of be like, yeah, that's a thing.
Well, it's politics. Politics are just kind of. It's like one of the last things where you people are still looking the other way almost
until it burns them. Yeah.
But Hollywood is different now because it's the bubble has burst on that. But it seems like politics you're still kind of untouchable almost.
Right.
I mean, you're a Republican. I'm not. But it just seems weird. Like,
wait, what are you then?
I'm not a Democrat, but I'm a left-leaning moderate,
liberal, left-leaning libertarian.
I don't even know what a libertarian is.
Kind of belief in the individual rights. It's not.
Don't we all believe in individual rights, like human rights?
Well, there's a collective. There's a
life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
It's kind of like this idea that everyone's in a group now. So, like, if you
have to be.
If you're far left leaning, you better believe whatever it is that they're saying. You better believe that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like a left leaning moderate because I don't believe every single. I don't honestly. I don't think you could be staunch anything. I think we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, unless you're lying to yourself.
Right.
But like, I don't. Like. Democrats bother me because they're too politically correct. I don't think we need to be this political because I love comedy too much. I think that's annoying.
Yeah.
It's just I'm more. I'd like a little more. I don't like what Trump's doing about immigration, but I think we need a little more stricter immigration.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't think you should. The Dreamers, I think they're children. Let's not. They were children. They didn't. I don't think we should kick them out. But I mean. Dangerous people that I think there's certain. I think I don't have the answer, of course, because
it's funny. Like each side will characterize whatever version of dreamer they want, and they're not all bad and they're not all good. So everyone will say, well, this dreamer accomplished all these different things and they're great, and it's like, okay, well now we have these MS-13 gang members who are dreamers or qualify for the dream thing, and they just murder these two people. Well, so it's not one or the. It's not. But one.
I wish they wouldn't blanket all of them.
Yeah,
let's look at it case by case.
Yeah.
Either it's so that's like the Republicans and the Democrats. I don't kick them all out, but don't keep them all either.
Right.
So I guess I lean more to the left, but I don't. It's weird that. And I'm not saying this because I was like a huge Bill Clinton fan,
right?
But man, they were about to impeach him over Monica Lewinsky, who was an adult and who was consensual.
They did impeach him.
Well, they did impeach him
because he lied. Well, it wasn't because of that.
He lied about what happened. But I mean, people were still upset. But I feel like, I guess Trump hasn't been in court yet. He hasn't been. But I feel like he would lie.
Oh, he's dumb enough to lie for sure
if he got in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand why they haven't brought him up on, But I guess none of this happened while he was president, though. That's the thing. He's like Teflon.
What I don't like is like people espouse these beliefs like do you remember when they kicked Elian Gonzalez out of the country?
Yeah.
Like people went in with guns to kick that little kid out of the country, and people were like, "Yay, that's good!" Like everyone was happy about that. And now it's like, well, hey, let's send back some of the bad ones. No. Like I feel like on a certain level, certain people are like open borders. We need nothing, and that's something I can't get behind because I'm like, well,
we're back to immigration. I thought we were still talking about and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no, it can't. Well, no, I mean, every country has no country has completely. Do they? I don't know.
Well,
the
European Union has it set up so that you can freely go through any.
Well,
of
that
those
makes
countries.
sense. I thought it. Well, not England anymore. They left.
They got out.
But I mean, that makes sense because they're a union. I mean, like, it's kind of like, it's not exactly the same, but it's like in the United States, we're
you can go between states.
Yeah, but I mean, I know those are separate countries, but they're in this thing. But I mean, every country has some sort of immigration policy. I mean, nobody just says, whatever, you want to So, yeah, it can't be all or nothing. It's not black or white. I think it's got to be in the middle. Like, If you want to reform it, let's do it right, and it's going to be a lot of work. Yeah. But I mean, you can't just say, "Yeah, all right, all of them go or all of them stay."
Right. It can't be one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some give and take. There's a solution to the problem that both sides can be happy with.
But it'll never happen.
Yeah.
But
because then the minute that you say, "Okay, everyone's in," and then someone does something, it's like, well,
we'll
that
see
guy's
what happened because
you
let them all in. Yeah. Which is true. I mean, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not dumb. I mean, of course, something, but, let's kind of, I mean, well, who knows? We can't even give guns to the right people. So who are we going to let immigrants in? We're not going to know that either.
Right,
we can't even, like, effectively look into our own citizens' background and find stuff. So whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do sports. Let's get off of that. I was worried we were going to get too far. I don't know. I felt like it was real time. Like,
I like the give and take. I don't think I'm.
No, we don't argue. We can still talk. Me and you talk about stuff. But I didn't want it to be too political because there's a lot of sports stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's better than whenever you and Dustin get together. You guys just jerk each other off with your left hands.
No, we don't. Do we? Is it
your
too much?
Your left-leaning hands.
Is it too much?
No.
No, he didn't. I mean, he's pretty.
No, I like his. Yeah,
because he'll talk about Obama, how Obama wasn't. I mean, he was more presidential than what we have now. But sure. Obama wasn't perfect, and he's a Democrat base. Dustin's a Democrat basically, but he can say, Obama didn't do everything great.
That's the
either.
thing. If you can't criticize your own side, it's really difficult to take your position seriously. Like if you can't look at your own place and say, "Hey, what do we need to fix here?"
Right.
Then
because it's really like. It's not when you try to talk about the lesser of two evils, but everyone has flaws. Like any candidate's going to have flaws.
Yeah.
It's almost like who has the least amount of flaws
right.
that you can get behind,
or that can come up at the last minute.
Yeah.
Like who's got the trump card? Who's got the ace in the sleeve?
Yeah, the ace in the hole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's who's going to represent you the best with what you believe in. But don't lie to yourself and everyone else and say they're completely right and you completely agree with everything they say.
Right.
You can't.
You can't.
You're two different people.
Yeah.
No two different people ever agree on everything anyway, let alone a politician and a...
Right. And if you have an R or a D by your name, you're expected to pull the party platform. So if the platform believes in something that you don't believe in...
that's exactly. Like, how can you... I don't want to say like look at yourself in the morning, but you have to basically just go along completely with whatever your site says.
Whatever the game is,
even if you don't really believe. You know,
right.
I mean, I'm sure there were Republicans that supported Trump. And they're like, "Fuck this guy," but it's almost like got to do. It's my job.
Right,
you know?
Got to toe that party line.
Yeah, or they'll get somebody. Your constituents will get somebody else or whatever. So I don't know. I would never want to be a politician. Even in the side I support, I would not. No.
Sure, yeah.
Screw that.
Well, because I mean, you're signing up for pleasing everyone all the time, like.
And you can't please all the people all the time. No. Like the saying goes, you can't please all the people all the time. All right, so let's do this National Signing Day thing you were telling me about, and then we'll wrap up with Super Bowl because I'm sure you've got some, or even just the last couple rounds of the playoffs into the Super Bowl too, because some of those were interesting.
Yeah.
So the National Signing Day. I have not seen this. You've seen it. So I'm going to watch it. If nobody else... Well, obviously, we're just going to listen to the... I had one good. Here we go.
Audio.
Is it about 2 minutes? Is that right?
I think the thing will come in...
I'm taking my time, too.
All right, so they set it up.
Okay.
So this is... it says, the title is Mom Walks Out After Fifth-Ranked Whiteout Jacob Copeland Commits to Florida.
Okay, so look at two things real quick. So the kid has a red jacket on.
Him right here.
So maybe that's why this happened. Anyway, the mom is at the far left. Or no, she's. This
is the mom?
No, it's the one right next to him. I'm sorry.
So she's got her hair?
She's clearly got an Alabama thing on.
And a Tennessee
hat.
Yeah.
So she's got her maybe 1 and 2 pick. And he is going to throw her a curveball.
Oh, I see what's coming. So... Those are her two, and he's gonna okay.
But keep in mind, this is this kid. I mean, I don't know the pressure of what this decision looks like, but each one of those hats represents a fan base that is tweeting at this kid, pleading for him to come. Right. You know, when something comes out that he went to visit the other school, I'm sure some people are saying, you're whack, or you're
fifth ranked in the country,
5th ranked wide receivers. And so he waited until this is National Signing Day, so he waited to the very end. He's on ESPN or ESPN2. He's got some. I mean, this is his moment,
right?
And
and his decision
for whatever.
Too.
Yeah,
I mean,
so there's a lot of pressure on him. This is the time that he's going to make the decision, kind of cast off everything else, and go for his dream, his goal. He's got a full ride to the specific college, and this is her reaction.
And all three are offering full rides.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida State.
Yeah,
what Florida State?
That's Florida Gators.
Is that state?
No, it's just University of Florida.
University of Florida. Okay, I don't know shit. Okay, so this is the beginning of
right, yeah,
whatever. He's about to announce what he picks. Right,
I mean, his eyes are downcast. He's a little nervous. He can tell.
He knows this is going to piss his mom off, probably. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. You can tell he's nervous though.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he's about to announce. He's
about to announce
what he chose. What school he chose.
Yeah.
For the next 3-4 years.
Oh, he picks Florida.
People clap for him.
His mom's like, nope.
Fucking bitch.
So
took her stuff.
Wow.
Walks in
Jacob, you're
front of the
you're
camera.
going to Florida. Who just got up and left there and to your right? Who got up and left?
Oh, that was my mom.
And why did she walk out and leave?
Oh man.
I don't know exactly why she walked out, but yeah, it is. I don't know.
Jacob, we saw her wearing the Alabama sweater there. What were those conversations like with her about where you were going to school?
I understand this reporter's doing his job, but
we had.
Well, you could tell he's upset. He knows
Yeah.
why she left. He didn't want to say, "Well, she's mad because I didn't pick the right school."
well, more than likely, some people are saying that she left or he left because she might have gotten a payday or some sort of car from Alabama. I mean, it's just guy's so shitty. Like it's just such a shitty reaction.
Well, yeah. I mean, even if you're upset, can't you just sit there and pretend like it's you don't?
It's
you're not.
his day.
Yeah, you're not going. But yeah, what a bitch! She walked in front of the table.
Yeah.
And somebody else, I guess, the aunt, maybe her sister, or somebody.
Yeah, someone else got up, but she's still in the frame, and
that she went back here.
yeah,
Okay.
and
But the mom got her purse and didn't even make it.
It's just such a
She
shitty
just-
reaction.
yeah.
There's not much. I don't know this lady's name. I don't know what she drives, where she lives, but you can just tell, hey, that's a shitty person.
Yeah.
Like that's someone that's really going to go out of their way to fucking make her son have to answer questions about her
She was probably
attitude,
wanting to-
her behavior.
Yeah, she was probably wanting to turn into like LeVar Ball or something.
Oh,
though. So
God.
where
I mean-
she's like more of a
Pull or more attention than her
attention
son.
than the kid with the talent, and she was just going to be like his manager or something.
So
I feel
stupid.
like that was because she felt she lost out on something,
Right, yeah.
as being a, you know what I mean,
Right,
like,
yeah.
Well, like I'm not gonna, but maybe that makes sense. Maybe she was getting something from the other two.
Or,
Like, why would a mom? My mom, if I was going to it, she wouldn't like who.
Right.
She wouldn't even know who the teams are. You know what I mean? She
Right,
would,
right.
and she'd be like, whoever you. But to have in the national television, on ESPN, to have those two, the two hats, or the Tennessee and the Alabama shirt.
Right, yeah.
I feel like people wear things because people ask them to.
Right.
Like, unless she really loves those two teams somehow, like, and those are
Well,
they a team.
That's the thing is like it's.
Yeah, it's shitty.
Let's just say, best case scenario, she really, in the depths of her soul, thinks that Alabama is the best choice for her son because he's gonna
Like academically,
yeah,
too.
academically, for whatever the case is, she just really believes that. Wouldn't you still be happy for it? He's got a full ride.
Well,
He's-
it's not like there's some backwoods shitty school. I mean, all these are D1 schools, like,
you know how many kids?
I'm going to go to Appalachian State University or
Well,
something.
I mean, you know how many parents are proud of their kids that go to Appalachian State, are proud because they get
Oh,
on.
sorry for the hit on Appalachian State over there.
Or get on just anywhere, D1,
Yeah.
D2, what doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Get
it's
on this D, whatever it is.
But he's going to play at the top of his. In one of the best conferences in the world.
His games are going to be nationally televised.
Yeah, and she's just like, get up and walk out.
Yeah.
Like it's just so fucking ridiculous. Like you just feel bad for him, and then I think there's a point in time I think he starts to cry in a certain second,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's like, damn.
and he's 18 years old. He's not ready for this. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, why'd your mom just leave?
Right? Yeah.
Why's your mom a
this is-
bitch?
And let's just say,
And he's not going to like trash his mom on TV, like, oh, but it's my mom. She a bitch.
He should cut ties and be like, that bitch ain't getting nothing when I get.
They always like buy him a house or a car or whatever.
But let's just say, worst case scenario.
He should buy the land the house is on and then just kick her out of the house.
But like worst case scenario, let's just say he goes to this school. He can't make the team, or maybe he gets hurt and injuries, aren't they're part of his career. There's just guys that their body lets them down. And they have all the talent in the world, they just can't make it.
Right.
And that's the biggest stage that he gets, and that's the mirror. That's a memory that he gets.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like a Tim Tebow. Actually, that's where Tim Tebow went.
Yeah, yeah.
Like his best days were college, and then nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
that's because I'm sure this for people, especially. I mean, I don't know. I think that the press conference for the National Signing Day would be like a memory you'd want to hold on to.
Right, yeah.
Like it'd be part of your memorabilia or your
Sure, your highlights.
Your
like if you have a
highlights.
highlight reel. Or,
So you don't want to show that to anybody,
No
right?
way.
You don't want to see your mom walking out and like, ugh.
and then if she's a half decent person, she's going to feel like a piece of shit after this. Maybe 10 years down the road.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But that face, just nothing. Nah, baby, nah.
And maybe
Maybe he's a jerk.
Maybe he had a crisis of conscience. Maybe he told his mom because she put all this pressure on.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go to Bama. And
He's
look,
like, Mama, it's gonna be Tennessee or Alabama. okay, baby. And then
And then he does like, fuck you, mom. And then he like puts the.
he should really show who he picks by pissing on the two hats he's not gonna. How about that? How about that? Oh shit, this game cold, nigga. That's that Tom and Jerry thing. A callback to something we did off the air. So if you've never seen that Tom and Jerry, I'd never seen it. It's old, and I feel bad because I never seen it because Norm schooled me on it, and I was like, "That's hilarious." Yeah. But it's Tom and Jerry where he's the cowboy and he's trying to get the cat cowgirl, and he does all this cool stuff, and he flicks his hat and lights a cigarette. But this guy, it sounds like a black guy, who's just narrating it.
Yeah,
and he's like, he loves how Tom's game is just
cold. Yeah, he goes
like he is just the coolest cat. No pun intended. He just, I'm sure it's a joke, but still, he's so excited. He loves how, this 1960s cartoon.
He's got to be high.
It's probably like, well, no. You remember, they always thought that talking at cups was, the guy was high. The thing that plays at the beginning of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Seahorses Forever.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, they thought he was in the closet and he was on acid or something. But did I ever tell you what it was? Didn't I tell you he was just like, I'm just going to talk.
Right.
And just say things and see if I can do it. And that's all that was.
Yeah.
But people were like, that was obviously now, memes and people want to get, Vines, and Vines are gone, but like YouTube famous or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyway, so let's talk about the Super Bowl.
All right.
Or let's talk about.
I love it.
Let's talk about the crazy, that New Orleans, Minnesota game.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Where you thought, it's going to be Breeze. It's going to be Drew Brees and the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then I quit watching it. And then I looked later and I was like, what in the hell? And then you shouldn't. There's a meme or whatever they made with that guy trying to make that tackle.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's skating or he's dancing with Ellen or whatever.
So bad for that guy.
What was that? That looks like me trying to tackle somebody.
He's a rookie. He's a rookie. So he
just
took a bad angle. And like he's had a great season, I think. Like the guy.
Yeah.
They have like grades for these different players from these different websites, and he graded out really well and just took a wrong angle.
Yeah.
Golly. I feel sick for him, but that was such a cool moment when he caught that and then just, oh shit, I'm free.
Yeah.
And he just like takes off.
I'm free. Yeah. So I thought because of that miraculous play, that was going to carry, because I hate the Eagles because I guess I'm a Cowboys fan.
Cowboy fan, yeah.
And I thought that would just carry them.
I did too.
Holy shit, this miraculous comeback. It was just adrenaline would just carry them through the Eagles.
Well, it also, the Eagles have Nick Foles. Like, you just really, up until this point, Nick Foles has not been good. Like, he's not been a good quarterback.
They had this crazy potent offense with Wentz, and then they're like, oh shit. And I understand. I can empathize with
the Cowboys beat the Eagles. Or they shut them down essentially.
Yeah. Well, how like when people just
Cowboys suck. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they do.
And they did this year.
After and they showed this graphic too that was out of the last however many years, the top seeds go to the playoff, go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And except the Cowboys last year, 13-3, couldn't get past the first round. No, we had a bye.
Yeah.
But we didn't win.
Aaron Rodgers ruined that day.
That was a great fucking game.
Yeah,
I wish I was like, I kept trying to be a Packers fan, but it's like, I guess it's just because I'm here in Texas and that's just my team. I guess the Cowboys are it's just in me or something.
Yeah.
But good God, I was like, fucking Aaron Rodgers. Because he's kind of Brady-esque in a way. He's got some magic about him.
Yeah. You don't want
He's all fucking hurt this year, though.
You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to face him in the playoffs.
No, it's like they could limp into the playoffs and then, but
like, oh shit,
miraculously, it's like the Yankees. They have a magic about them where they can just turn it on and when it's playoff time.
Well, that's what they did this year, didn't they? I mean, they beat a team that they weren't supposed to beat in the first round.
Yankees?
Yeah, the Indians.
Yeah.
Well, the Yankees beat the Indians.
Everyone thought the Yankees were maybe 2 or 3 years away from being great again because of all the. And now, good God, sorry to get off on that, but they got Stanton.
I mean, their lineup looks sick.
Yeah,
Judge.
They've got a potent blend. It's kind of like, it's scary because it's kind of like what they did in the late '90s, where they had they had Jeter, they had Mariano Rivera, they had Posada, like homegrown stuff, but then they also added people.
Yeah,
and that was like the perfect mix. It almost feels like that, like it's about to be a dynasty again.
Fucking hate that. Ugh. Anyway,
so, but I can understand, I can empathize with Eagles fans because it sucks when you're like, well, this is it. Like, they just handicapped him forever.
Yeah.
And Foles, and I know people, this is not an original thought. I mean, he was a starter I mean, he's not a traditional backup quarterback.
He had a great rookie season, and then he just couldn't get going with Jeff Fisher or any of these other QBs, any other teams that he was on.
Right.
So, yeah, that was crazy. That whole play. I mean, I watched. It's not even my team, and I watched that specific play between the Vikings and the Saints.
But you can feel
number of times.
You can feel for the fans. You're like, "Fuck, what is this?"
I mean, did you see there was someone that had it looked like a phone camera like during the play, and it's from the perspective of the end zone where he runs to, and you can just see like the ball coming out, and he catches it and he turns around, and then just the roar of the crowd like when he gets there. It's awesome. But it sucks.
It sucks for Saints fans, but it's awesome for. Yeah. So I thought that was going to carry them past the Eagles, but good Lord, they look like
they got murdered.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles look like they had Carson Wentz or something. Yeah. Foles kind of came alive. Then they go to the.
I honestly thought Brady was going to win his 6th. I was like, well,
fuck. I mean, you're never out. Well, hang on. So so the Eagles and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Did you hear? I want to play this.
Okay,
maybe you've heard it. You probably heard it because you may have. You haven't even said what it is yet. How do you know?
Because I think I saw you watching it earlier. It was an Eagles something or other, right?
Oh, well, it was this guy that when because Eagles have never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but and that's not really saying anything because a lot of teams haven't won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
there's like a lot more teams that haven't. Like in baseball, there's like the Rangers, the Mariners, the Tampa Bay. There's like 4 or 5 that have never.
Yeah,
but in football, there's a bunch of dynasties.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to something, it may have been Bill Burr's podcast or something, because he talks about sports a lot. But if you think about it, he counted them up, and like 6 teams have won 30 of the 52 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that big.
Do you know what I mean? So, there are a lot of, I can't name them, but he was like naming, the Jaguars. A lot of, there's expansion teams that haven't, but, the Texans haven't, the Cardinals haven't, right?
Right, Cardinals. Cincinnati hasn't.
The Chargers have never won, right?
Cleveland.
Well, God, they never win a game.
Jeez.
The Chiefs won a long time, like one of the first Super Bowls, I think.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah,
they won.
The Jets have, the Giants have. Who else is up there? The Redskins have.
Buffalo hasn't.
Carolina went to.
They went to like 2 in the last.
But they didn't.
15 years, but they didn't win.
Falcons haven't. The Saints have.
Oh,
sorry. That's a porn notification. The Saints have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won just recently, like in the last 6 years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
Colts, yeah.
What about? Did the Titans win as Oilers? Did they ever win as the Oilers? Or they made it to the? I know. No,
I don't think they have.
They didn't make it to the. They played the Rams in that one where he tries to leap at the last.
Yeah.
They were in the Super Bowl. They never won.
No, didn't win.
Not even as Oilers. I don't think.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Who's in the middle of the country? Anybody else in the middle of the country? The Vikings have never won one, have they?
Vikings haven't won.
They haven't won it.
They've been a few times, but nope.
Did we already say the Cardinals haven't?
Right. Cardinals haven't.
Broncos have.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in California? The 49ers, of course, have.
Yeah. Damn right.
They're up there, aren't they? 4? Don't they have 4?
They're at 5.
5? They're in the the list of dynasties and stuff that have a lot.
I think that's it.
Well, anyway.
I think that's yeah.
So there's like a lot more that haven't that have.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when Carson Wentz went down, this guy called into his Philly radio sports station and just bawled. When's it going to be? But I'm going to play. It's really bad audio because somebody recorded it from their radio or something. But I wanted to listen.
So this is after they win.
No. This is
They just get to the championship.
No, this is when Carson Wentz gets hurt. And it's so I haven't listened to all of it, but I heard somebody talk about it. I was like, I got to find this audio.
Hi, Chris. Angelo, I was trying to be funny with you and ask you if you were at, if you were at Pearl Harbor or Custer's last stand, and I'm like really hurt, man.
Chris, you're blaming me for what happened.
No, but you know what? I'm just tired of being standing.
Chris, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's breaking down. It's hard to hear, but you can hear. I guess he was blaming the radio host or something.
He's crying.
Why do we get hurt all the time, though?
I don't know the answer to it, Chris. That's why I just
What
did
is
the
that,
show.
man? What's that? I mean, you're calling Yankees, the Yankees. What's this? They're bad back. We trade Joel looking for
I can't hear. I can't understand what he's saying.
Chris. Well, we got Wentz. He'll be okay someday, and then we'll win it.
It's not fair.
It's not.
All right, Chris, listen, I'm going to let you go right now because I'm not a psychologist.
Thank God.
And I have a feeling that's what you need. Pearl Harbor. Oh, I'm going to take one more call. I got Chris.
He made the guy. I wish I could find better audio than that, but that really hurt my ears. Actually,
Yeah.
Sorry. But I mean, you could tell he was crying.
Yeah.
That made the radio host uncomfortable. That he had. When's it going to be our turn, man?
Yeah, I mean,
like
that guy,
he's really like
that guy killed himself the night they won. Like that's the pinnacle of where he's at.
He's like, I just can't handle it.
We did it. Like there's nothing left for me. It's all downhill from here.
That's just that's.
Yeesh.
I mean, I love sports, but I mean,
I care about stuff, and it's not fun when my team does
well,
bad.
it's never fair. I mean, it's
Lord.
sports. Yeah, that guy. I mean, if you couldn't really hear what he's saying, but you could tell he was bawling like a bitch.
But just to not be able to account for just injuries, like it's a freak injury. He got hurt. Like you just have to take it and go. Like
it sounded like he was, from what I could make out, he was blaming the host. Like he was saying, like, why are you like? Because he said it's not my fault, man. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously a Philly sports host.
Fanatic. I mean,
well, no, but the host is like, it's a Philly sport talk show.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just like, that's. I mean, that would have been me after the Rangers lost in the World Series. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even after that, I mean, it was just like, well, fuck. Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that's how it happens sometimes. But that's the kind. I mean, if that's the kind of fan base that if there's enough of those guys. Those are the guys throwing batteries at fucking people. I mean,
those are the ones that then they throw batteries at Santa Claus or something.
I mean, just people that I understand the fan base. I mean, did you see what happened when they won?
Well, that was a very small part of it, but I did see. They were turning cars over. Some guy had some like a telephone pole or some pole he was carrying around. There was a gas station that
got looted by.
They were throwing people? Like everything's free or whatever.
There was a kid that ate horse shit. Did you see that?
Yes. I think that's just a normal day in Philly, though. Did you see him?
They get horse shit out of to eat this and make it seem like it's... Like, what?
They were pulling. Did you see the one where they were pulling? They were dragging a keg over City Hall gate.
Jeez.
You didn't see that?
Did you see the people on the Ritz-Carlton that got on the awning and just there was 20 people collapsed?
They broke windows, I think, in the front of it too. There was or something. So they threw rocks. They just lost their mind. But I know a lot of Philly fans were upset. They're like, look, the city's still. I'm at work today. The city's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just, of course. I mean, I understand that's the more tantalizing video. They're going to show that.
Right.
Like, oh, Philly's burned to the ground. But Philly fans are shitty. Like, I'm not going to say they're not. They're really awful fans.
And now they got a championship, so
I know they're going to be even more dickish than normal.
Get their chest puffed out and.
But anyway, it was a good Super Bowl. I wanted to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really rooting against Brady in my heart of hearts, I guess. Even though that would be like awesome because I would have been alive for the whole thing, for all six, you know? Because I remember watching, like, I really started getting into football, like watching it a lot was with the Rams that season when Kurt Warner, I don't know why it was around that time. I got more into football in like 99, 2000 or whatever. And then they won and they played the Patriots. So the Patriots' first one was that next year. And that was cool because it was 9/11 and the Patriots won, and then and somebody even said, like, what if the Patriots hadn't done that? Maybe the Rams would have been a dynasty. Maybe would have won a few in a row. I think I maybe said that on the last one. But with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk, and I mean, that could have been
that could have been big.
But anyway, so I guess I was rooting against them, but they, it's like this Patriots magic. You're like, shit, they're coming back.
Yeah.
Like, they were up,
They took the lead. They came back. They
did come back. It was 33-32, yeah. And for a while, it was like a 10-point advantage for Philadelphia and everything. And that very last, I mean, even when he fumbled it, he still, at the very end of the game, had a Hail Mary. And I could see like a Giants like catching the ball against your helmet, something for happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it batted around for a minute, and I was like, "Fuck!" If a Patriot comes down with his ball, Philly, and they go into overtime and lose, Philadelphia would be burned to the ground.
They would not.
It would not be there. It would not be open for business. People wouldn't call in sick; they'd be dead.
Right? Yeah.
But I mean, it was great. I mean, not a very defensively played game.
No.
But which is weird because they talked about how good Philadelphia was defensively, and it's weird. The Patriots really.
I mean, if someone said,
Tom Brady had more yards of offense than the winning quarterback.
Yeah, he had 505. He set a record. 505.
Fuck. Well, the whole Super Bowl, I think, set a record combined.
Yeah,
yardage.
more points, yardage.
That's crazy. But I mean, it's weird because the Patriots really didn't have any offense. I mean, if you like Gronkowski was back, but he's kind of, and then Edelman was gone from the year before. I mean, and then Amendola steps up and somehow is a great thing. And
what's funny is like Tom Brady had 3 wide receivers that all had over 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Gronk had whatever and 2 touchdowns. Like they just had a stat sheet that would make you think, okay, they're going to win.
That one white guy that he kept going to a lot,
Chris Hogan,
yeah. They're like, this is going to be that guy. Who's the one you know more stuff than me? Who's the guy that he kind of like fell in love with in the Super Bowl last year that he was throwing to a lot? Not Edelman or anything, but it was like a different guy.
That Tom Brady threw to?
Yeah. Some other like no-name guy who's not even. Well, anyway, they were talking about some other guy. Maybe it wasn't last year's Super Bowl. Maybe it was some other Super Bowl, but.
Well, I know they used a lot of James White last year.
Maybe that's who I'm.
But he's like a running back, and he scored 3 touchdowns. All this other stuff.
I think they're like maybe not throwing to, but there was like an offensive weapon that kind of comes out of nowhere.
That was it, yeah.
Last year,
he caught a lot of. I mean, second half he was everywhere, and he scored the winning touchdown in overtime.
Right.
I mean,
So they were like, this is kind of the Patriots' MO here, where they
using someone they haven't used all year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just magic or Belichick or
you look
Brady
at it,
or what.
You look at it, and they do have a dynasty, but I mean, there's so many things that went into them winning those Super Bowls. Like, I hate this, but if the Seahawks run Marshawn Lynch from the 1 3 times, they score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But the Patriots don't have.
Right.
They can't get that far on with that defense. I mean, so they would lose that one.
Mm-hmm.
If the Falcons put their wieners back in their pants and stop dicking around and actually
play some defense,
just do something, score a field goal. If they don't let that ridiculous comeback happen, they lose that Super Bowl.
Right.
So all of a sudden, Tom goes from having 5 rings to 3 rings, and every one of their Super Bowls, there hasn't been like this win for the Patriots where they're like, yeah, we skunked that team.
Right.
We beat them 30. It's always
they've
Vinatieri,
never been blowouts. They've been
Vinatieri won 2 of those.
Yeah.
Like he won the one with the Rams and he won the one with the Panthers. It was a last second field goal they had to win on, and they had Vinatieri. So I mean, it's not as if this dynasty has been like my Niners. No, okay.
They haven't been favorites to just destroy.
Well,
I mean, maybe favorites, but they haven't been like, oh, it's a cakewalk. We're just gonna waltz right through them.
Yeah, even when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, in the '90s they had
the poor Buffalo Bills.
They had a small dynasty, and they murdered the AFC teams that they played most of the time. So, and
it's also not like.
So this could be a very different story for Tom. But I mean, who do you think is more important, Tom Brady or Bill Belichick?
Oh God, they've said this a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think it's Tom Brady.
You think he does as well without Belichick if he was just there?
I think if he goes to, let's just say, because look at what he has. He's got these receivers that don't. I mean,
well, at the end of the day, Tom Brady's making the plays.
Right.
Belichick's not out there thinking on the run and
right. Yeah, he's not the one that he just tells him go and do it. And he's
right.
Like, yeah.
If a play falls apart, he's not the one out there thinking on his feet and stuff.
So I mean, I think if
you're right. I guess so. If you had to, I mean, of course they're all amazing together. You want them together.
Sure. I mean, that's how you get what you have.
Right. But Tom, I guess. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's the player is the one that's the talent. But also they haven't had like a dynasty in the traditional sense where it's the same core of players all the way through.
Right. I mean,
it's never been. I mean, Tom's been there, but I mean, like they had. They didn't even when Randy Moss was rejuvenated. They didn't win a Super Bowl then.
Man, but that was the year they went undefeated up until
the Giants beat them. Yeah, which is crazy.
And him and Randy Moss both set the records that year for most TDs thrown in a season.
So that was the team that I feel like would be the one talked about, because it was. But they have, like your guy, like Jerry Rice and
Joe Montana,
and Aikman and Emmett and Irvin and Bradshaw and help me out with names.
Bradshaw, Lynn Swan, and that small Italian. I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying? They had like this core that would be part of the dynamic. But Tom, not the case, really. He kind of...
Well, he's like the centerpiece of everything. Like everything else...
He is the core. And he makes everyone better somehow, which is really annoying. Yeah. Like Edelman. Wasn't Edelman a former quarterback by trade or something? And then he converted?
Well, that's what they're known for. Is they take... I mean, I think they said something about Edelman, Chris Hogan... and one of their other wide receivers were part of another team.
Well, who was the guy they got from Pittsburgh? I mean, he didn't like light it up or anything. Remember, just like right before the playoffs or something, right?
They got a guy from Pittsburgh. James Harrison. He was on defense. Yeah.
I mean, not this. I don't say. I mean, he's still. It's not like he was.
But you're right. You're right. They let him go, and the Patriots picked him up, and like, well,
it reminds me of in baseball the sabermetrics thing, where you just take players that are maybe not the biggest name or doing well, but they fit.
Right.
They fit in there, and it works. So that's it. Kind of, even though the Patriots have a bunch of money, but they do it the same. They kind of play that small ball, even though they have a bunch of money.
Yeah, where they take these guys, they pour a lot of training into them, they get the best out of them, and then they're like, all right, take off. Go get your payday somewhere else.
Yeah, but they use them enough where they don't have to pay them as much. So then, they put more money in the mac and cheese industry with Kraft.
That was
it was a great Super Bowl.
It was nice to see them lose. I like the fact that Tom's got a bugaboo in the NFC East. Like he can't get
the NFC East.
The Giants beat him twice. The Eagles beat him.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty great.
Yeah,
suck it, Tom.
It's great. Let's get out of here. I'm hungry.
All right,
you want to go eat some foods?
Let's eat some foods.
That was good. That was a really well-rounded show. We had shit about us that people will probably fast forward through. Then we had some politics. Then we had some entertainment. Did we talk about entertainment a little bit? A little bit of Harvey Weinstein.
Right,
Harvey Weinstein.
Sad entertainment.
And then sports. So, yeah, we got them all. Got them all covered. What's really cool? I'll say this one thing before we go. I was doing a lot of those shows, right? With that theater group.
Oh, yeah.
Like some murder mysteries and stuff. And I met this guy. And we're getting married? No. I met a guy. I met a dude. And he just opened my eyes, man. No. He works at the radio. One of the local
butt cheeks.
Yes. He opened my butt cheeks. He works at one of the radio stations, and the lady that owns the theater group is on. You know who she is. I've told you about her.
Yeah.
And he's like I can't remember what he does, but one of the things he does do is make like commercials and intros and all this stuff, and he's good at like. Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, can you like make us some things, like some stingers or intros and stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah," and that was like a month ago, and I haven't called him. But it's cool because he said he would. I could just come to the station, and he's like, "Yeah, I got these samples and all. I can make you some stuff." Because like everything on here, anytime somebody talks that's pre-recorded, it's me,
right? Yeah.
With my voice changed. So it'd be cool if it could be like somebody announcing the show, and it truly be somebody else.
Yeah,
and some better music samples than what I found around. You know what I mean? So I know what every podcast fan is clamoring for: better intros and outros. Not about better content.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, and then just be let down with what we say after we come in.
Farting into the mic still.
Yeah, right. So anyway, anything you want to say?
I was going to try and fart into the mic, but no.
Should we congrat? So good for the Eagles.
Yeah, good for them.
I understand that. Never. God, leave us loud. I can understand not having a championship as like a Ranger fan. So, I mean, I can't fault them, even though they're
being happy. Yeah,
they're in the same division as the Cowboys, but good for them.
Yeah,
they got it. So, all right,
agreed.
If nothing else, thanks, man.
Yeah,
thanks for listening.
Next week,
we'll catch you guys next time right here on the Weekly Yak. Goodbye.
That was awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Weekly Yak.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Check us out at weeklyyak.com. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Lighthouses rule.
And subscribe to us on iTunes.
Keep looking up, because that's where it all is.